Butcher said, "The human mind is not a terribly logical or consistent place. The study of those illogical, inconsistent minds is called psychology." Today I would like to share with you a few of the psychology experiments that I find the most fascinating and what truths they demonstrate about humanity and their weaknesses. I will be discussing 3 experiments. The first is the Stanley Milgram experiment, the second is a selective attention experiment, and the last is the Asch conformity study. Let's look at the Stanley Milgram experiment first. This experiment sought to ascertain whether the willingness of individuals to obey authority figures, even if they were instructed to do things that conflicted with their personal conscience. In the experiment, they were instructed to inflict fake electrical shocks to learners if they gave incorrect answers to certain questions. These fake shocks continually increased in level until reaching a level that would be fatal if they had been real. And the individuals administering these shocks had been told that were of the opinion that these were actual real shocks. They had not been informed that they were fake or not real. So they thought they were literally hurting these people. And the learners had been told to fake pain and show that, act as if they were in horrible pain, like screaming like they're about to pass out, and show that they were very uncomfortable. And the people were supposed to shock them anyway, even through the discomfort. And amazingly, about 65% of the participants administered the experiment's final massive 450-volt shock, which would have been lethal if it had been a real shock of electricity, although most of them did display signs of stress while doing so. And this experiment appears to show that most people will obey a person in authority, even if instructed to do something that appears immoral or wrong. Now let's look at the selective attention experiment. For this experiment, I have a short video to show so that you can see the experiment for yourself.
How many passes did you count? The correct answer is 15 passes. But did you see the gorilla? This video is from research by National Science English to which the brain and is copyrighted.
So, as you can see, a gorilla walked across the screen about halfway through the video. One would think that everyone would see it. How could you possibly miss it? However, shockingly, about 50% of people that were shown this video never saw the gorilla at all. I was actually of the opinion, I'd heard of this experiment, and was of the opinion that if I was in the same situation, I figured, of course I would see the gorilla. Duh, how could I not see the gorilla? A few years ago, though, I was watching television on the National Geographic Channel and was watching a special about dealing with psychological matters, and it discussed this very video on the show. And they recreated the video on the television show I was watching with a different subject matters. It wasn't the people bouncing basketball. It was a dance crew from Las Vegas called the Jabberwockies, I think. and they were doing something, and you're supposed to count, and I was counting along and following instructions, and I thought I was doing excellently, only to have the announcer say, "What about the penguin?" What penguin? I totally missed the penguin. So apparently I would have missed the gorilla too, I suppose. So that experiment shows that people miss a lot of what goes on around them and perceive much less than they probably think that they do. Now let's look at the ash conformity experiment. Here is another short video that shows that experiment.
The ash experiment is one of psychology's oldest and most popular pieces of research. The volunteer is told that he's taking part in a visual perception test. What he doesn't know is that the other participants are actors, and he's the only person taking part in the real test, which is actually about group conformity.
The experiment you will be taking part in today involves the perception of line length. Your task will be simply to look at the line here on the left and indicate which of the 3 lines on the right is equal to it in length. So, for example,
The actors have been told to match the wrong lines. The volunteer will be monitored to see if he gives the correct answer or if he goes along with the opinion of the group and gives the wrong answer. In the first test, the correct answer is 2.
1. 1. 1. 2. 1.
Once again, the correct answer is 2.
3. 3. 3. 3. The ash experiment has been repeated.
So as you can see, that individual changed his mind. So on average, about a third of the participants gave the incorrect majority answer. So, and the reason for that would be that the people wanted to fit in with the group, or they believed the group was better informed than they were for some reason. So in conclusion, I hope you have enjoyed these explanations of a few psychology experiments and that it has encouraged you to see the world a little differently. Thank you.